Hi, I'm Julie Zeglin, the editor of Generosity.org, a social impact news site here in Philadelphia. And this is Around the Corner, our Philly Cam show, in which I interview local social impact leaders about their work in the city. I have with me now Soneyet Mohammed, who is with Clarifi. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So can you talk about what Clarifi is and what you do there?
So Clarifi is a 50-year nonprofit. We've been operating in the greater Delaware Valley now for that long.
Yeah.
We have 18 offices throughout the area, in Delaware, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. And what we do is talk to everyday people about their money woes, their money challenges. We're a financial capability organization, but commonplace would be financial literacy. So we help people save for home ownership, reduce their debt, improve their credit, build a budget for the first time perhaps, address retirement savings, things that are the basic fundamentals around living your life to the fullest by retaining and maintaining your assets in your life.
Great, gotcha. And so how many locations around the Delaware Valley?
We have 18 locations throughout the area. In Philadelphia, we have a number of them, the surrounding counties. We have one office in Wilmington, Delaware, in Newcastle County, and then we have quite a number of them in New Jersey as well, in southeastern New Jersey.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so the people who are coming to Clarifi, can it be anyone who's looking for financial assistance, or is it a specific type of person that you're looking to serve?
Yeah, so our mission applies to anybody, but our target is low to moderate income households. But we do serve anybody, from the small business owner who owns a full-fledged business who might just be overwhelmed with the amount of personal debt they've taken on to start their company, to folks who maybe just might be in the gig economy and riding Lyft or Uber to make ends meet, or a female head of household who just might be struggling economically and is trying to get ahead, but feels like she keeps falling behind. So what we try and do is serve as a place for anyone to come to us, even though our mission is to serve specifically low and moderate income households.
Gotcha, great. And so something that is new for Clarifi is the boot camp series that just started. Can you talk a little bit about that and who that's trying to serve?
Yeah, so the boot camp we've been running now for about 3 years successfully. It's a national leader, and so we've pivoted this year to address the racial wealth gap. It's been a hot button issue. It's very topical right now, and so we realize that we've been serving and addressing this issue for quite a number of years now, call it even 50, really addressing this. But what we tried to do now is, because we have so much programming specific to folks who are not in crisis, but who are looking for, what do I do now? I'm trying to save, you might be mismanaging my money, but what do I do now to kind of get on track? The boot camp has been solving that issue for folks. We've helped people improve their credit scores over 50, 60 points on average, some outliers of 120 points. Depends on how we find you and how we can help you.
Sure.
We've helped people buy homes, but there's also the piece too around the racial wealth gap that we've learned through our research that really has focused our issues and focused our approach to address the racial wealth gap here in Philadelphia. We won't be able to solve it all. This is a federal policy issue,
Sure.
But we are doing what we can to bridge the knowledge gap.
Sure. And so the racial wealth gap is, you better explain it, but for someone who's not familiar.
Yeah, so the racial wealth gap is essentially the argument that through the country's just systemic sort of racial discrimination policies that have been indoctrinated in federal policy, state level, and also local level, Black and Latinx people have just been forced to fall behind. It's been purposeful, it's been intentional. And so the civil rights movement of the 1960s tried to address that. A lot of the work that we do around the Community Reinvestment Act to address redlining, which seems to be much more commonplace than the racial wealth gap in terms of what that means. What we're trying to do is really address that in modern day legislation. But because of the systemic issues around racial discrimination, because it's generational, the gap between the median white household significantly outpaces the Black household, for instance. So as an example, the Census Bureau released some report in that in 2016, the median white household has about $100 of wealth. The African American household has $5.04, right? So that sort of demonstrates the big gap. The white household, the white rate for household ownership is 72%. The Black and Latinx household owns their own home about 46 to 42% of the time. The white household has double the wealth of an African American or Latinx household when it comes to retirement savings, right? So those types of statistics hold a lot of weight. And so that's really some of the ways in which we're thinking about the racial wealth gap and the ways in which we can lend what we know to the fight.
Sure. And so for somebody who is interested in countering that, they're recognizing it in their own lives, their own financial lives specifically, what are some of the steps that Clarifi recommends that people take?
Yeah, so we have always dealt with credit improvement, debt reduction and savings and budgeting in the boot camp. It's for folks who are not in crisis but are looking to get ahead. The financial coaching program through the boot camp is really intensive. It's a 3-week session where it's a group-based learning environment to talk about, like I said, credit, debt reduction and savings and all of that. And then you're off to the races with your volunteer financial coach. What often happens in our personal lives is I'm going to make a plan and you fall behind. Your financial coach acts as that accountability partner. Did you say what you were going to, did you do what you said you were going to do, right? So that person tracks and follows with you for 6 months to make sure that you actually build a habit of whatever your goal might be focused on. The added lens of racial wealth gap really is we're helping people sort of shop for mortgages. We shop for jeans, but we don't shop for financial products. We know as clarifiers that people come to us in pre-purchase counseling, which we do often, to get first-time home buyers ready to own a home, especially if they've never lived in a home that's owner-occupied. First-generation home buyers are, they don't know a lot about the process. They come to us and they don't shop around for a mortgage and they're subject to a predatory loan. Statistics will tell you that African Americans are overwhelmingly offered a predatory home loan, even when you account for credit or any other risk factors. They're still offered a predatory loan. And so we're adding the lens of home ownership to the boot camp. Additionally, we're doing a lender fair as well, so that credible, reputable financial institutions, credit unions and banks alike will come to the boot campers and table an event for them so they can understand how to shop for a mortgage and also that they should exercise those shopping muscles as they get ready for home ownership. We had community legal services there the other night talking about estate planning, probate, and all of those metrics so that folks can actually prepare for intergenerational wealth. We're not only talking about home ownership though. Like I said, white households have double the wealth of African American households when it comes to retirement savings. So what we're also doing is talking about retirement, right? How are you saving for the long term with respect to the short term as well? So we're trying to have a holistic conversation to give people different ways to build wealth and also to retain and hold on to it legally.
Great. And so if somebody's interested in getting involved in attending the boot camp or learning elsewhere, where can they go?
Jump onto our website, clarifi.org. Follow us on Twitter @WeClarify. We're happy to welcome you to the fold, either as a coach or as a participant. We have a lot of coaches that this program still relies upon. They are the lifeblood of this program. They are happy to volunteer and to act as that friend to just keep someone on track for their goals. And so those are the ways to get in touch with us. Like I said, anyone can join. It's open to anybody. It's a lot of fun. But we're talking about some really great issues here in Philadelphia, and we want the more the merrier. So.
Great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking about it.
Thank you so much, Julie, for having us. We really appreciate it.